Alrighty guys, what is going on? It is your boy Joey Snake guys coming back at you with another video, and today I want to talk about the Modern Warfare 2 beta, at least for the first weekend. The second weekend is actually live right now, and I will make a separate video on that after that beta ends. But starting with beta weekend number 1, I want to talk about first and foremost, which is honestly a hot topic right now, the minimap. In this game, it is not traditional. So like with traditional Call of Duty, if you shoot an unsilenced weapon, your dot appears on the minimap for the enemies to see, like, hey, this person is shooting. They're making noise with their gun. That's what it's been like for most of Call of Duty. There's a couple times where it differed from that, but primarily that is what it's like. But with Modern Warfare 2, they opted to go with a minimap where when you fire an unsilenced weapon, it doesn't appear on the minimap unless there is a UAV active. Honestly, I don't care what Activision, Infinity Ward, anybody was thinking. It is a terrible design for Call of Duty. Any other game, maybe a hardcore game mode, realistic game mode, sure, throw that in there. For regular team deathmatch, quick play, domination, hardpoint, all that, give us the OG minimap. And for the weekend 2 beta, they actually did some changes, but they did not change the minimap at all. They even stated themselves, I'll post a screenshot right here, saying something along the lines of, yeah, we feel it's better for the game and the flow of the map or the flow of the game. They said they weren't going to change it, basically. I'm hoping with enough feedback and enough negative response on the minimap that they are going to change it like they did with Modern Warfare, because for whatever reason, Modern Warfare did the same thing and we were like, nah fam, nah. No, actually, it wasn't with that. It wasn't similar. It was just the fact that there was like, the minimap was basically useless in that game when it first came out and people were like, nah fam, put it back to the way it was. And they changed it and it became a better game. The problem with the minimap and you firing an unsilenced weapon and it not appearing on the map is that you don't know where to go, right? And it's not like we're playing Rainbow Six Siege or Valorant where you're like audibly listening to sound cues in this game, because the difference between Call of Duty and something like Valorant or something like Rainbow Six Siege is that with Rainbow Six Siege and Valorant, it's very quiet throughout the majority of the game until things start popping off. Everybody's holding angles, everybody's staying still, trying to make no noise, trying to just, wait for the enemy to come to them. That's what it's there for. You're supposed to listen for the audio cues, you're supposed to listen for when that person throws down a grenade or a thermite or use their ability and stuff like that. Same thing with Valorant. It's all about holding angles and kind of not making noise, because when you make noise, it puts you at a disadvantage because people know where you are. People can pinpoint your location, they can find you, track you down, kill you, boom, you out for the game. This is not that game. Call of Duty is not that game. Call of Duty is not a strategic shooter. I think they keep forgetting that. When we play Call of Duty, at least me personally, I don't use it exactly like how we'll use it playing Rainbow Six. The difference is, with Call of Duty, they got grenades going off, they got flashbangs going off, they got gun firing from 10 different people at a time, all across the map, kill streaks coming in, the announcer's voice all the goddamn time, UV up, enemy chopper gunning, stuff like that. There's so much noise happening that it's like you can't seriously use your audio unless it's a bigger map and the audio was a lot spread out. But when it's a small map, you're just hearing shots left and right, boom, boom, everything going off. So how are you supposed to audibly hear somebody's footsteps while you're hearing your 10 different enemies, kill streaks, the announcer's voice, things like that? Like, how are you supposed to do it? It does not improve the gameplay. It does not improve the flow of fight. If anything, it's a detriment to the gameplay because you don't know where you go. So what you instead doing is just sit in a corner or sit in a spot and just hold an angle. And then it becomes like Rainbow Six Siege. It becomes like Valorant. It's like, bro, we don't want that. If you want that, play a hardcore, play realistic, play something else. That's not what Call of Duty is. It's arcade. It's supposed to have fun. You're supposed to enjoy it, but you can't really enjoy it when you're getting basically limited on what you can do, because you're not getting these cues from the minimap or cues from anything else. That you have to rely solely on hearing people's footsteps. It's like, bro, this is not search and destroy. I'm playing team deathmatch. Let me run and gun, please. The next thing I want to talk about is the perk packages. I don't like it. Once again, they switched something that didn't need to be switched. They try to change it, try to improve it, try to do something new. And I don't agree with it. A lot of people in the community also don't agree with it. It's not the most terrible thing. I get why they want to switch it up. It's not really a whole problem, but I can see the problems with this kind of system. On the screen here, you guys see the perk packages within itself, and it's kind of like perk 1 is your base perks, is the perks you just start off with when the game starts up. The bonus perk and the ultimate perk you get over time through, I think, a little bit of points and just over time, like actual in-game time. And I think Exclusive Ace did a timing on it where it was like the bonus perk was like a couple minutes, and the ultimate perk was like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something like that. Like, it's not the longest time you have to wait, but at the same time, is it necessary? No. And he actually made up a really good point in his video where if you join a game late, do you get those perks as if you would have joined early or at the start of the match, you would have had those perks already. But when you join late, you don't have them because you joined late. So you're already at a disadvantage from everybody else. You don't have ghosts. You don't have whatever the perks that you have in perk 2, etc. So in that regards, like I said, it can go either way. I personally don't like it. Just give me the 3 perks, start of the match, boom, bada bing, we're good. But at the same time, it's not a whole deal because, like I said, you get it roughly 5-6 minutes into the game. But with a game like TDM, it only runs about 10 minutes, sometimes even 8, depending on how good your teammates is. But it literally depends on how good your teammates are in killing the enemy team. It can literally go to like 7 minutes and the game's over. I've had matches like that. Plenty of us that play TDM have that. But with other games like Domination, it can run a bit longer, so you have a little bit more time to get them. So with the perk packages, for me personally, it's up in the air. It could go either way. I would hope that they return to the original, but I doubt it. But if they don't, it's not really a deal breaker for me. I can get past it. The next thing I want to talk about are the guns and the maps. I'm kind of put them in 2 just because they kind of go hand in hand. The guns, I actually really like the feel of the guns. I can't wait to the full game launches to where you have all the attachments for it. One thing I don't really understand is the receiver. I get you keep the same attachments for it, but it's weird like picking an M4 and then going to receiver and then it automatically switching to the M16 or whatever if you pick that receiver. It's like, but if I wanted the M16, why not just click the M16? You know, like that I don't understand. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know. The gun that it switches to is just the gun in that class. So like the Lockman, which is like the MP5 name, has like a assault rifle, a submachine gun, and I think an LMG variant. So if you click the MP5 or the Lockman, the base one on the submachine gun class, you can switch it to the assault rifle version. But like at the same time, why not just click the assault rifle version? Like why not just go into the primary, click assault rifles, and click that gun? That, like I said, it's a little weird for me personally, but it's not the most terrible thing. Same thing with the maps. The maps we have, I like them. There's one map that I don't particularly like all that much. I think that's Farm 18 is the one where it's good, but because of the spawns, which I'm gonna get to in a second, the spawns make that map basically unplayable because of how small it actually is, and the spawns literally make it annoying to play on. So like with this game, how the spawns work, it's better for medium-sized maps because you have a lot more room to work with. But all in all, the maps we have, they're all pretty decent. Nothing inherently wrong with them. I want to see what other maps they're going to bring into this game because I'm pretty sure they can do some real good ones. The maps look nice. The lanes are actually pretty good lanes. The cover is actually pretty decent. But there's a lot of head glitches I've noticed. There's quite a few head glitches that are honestly annoying where it's hard to challenge it from one angle. But I'm sure they'll do some changes, or I'm just sure the other maps will be more balanced. I don't know. But the maps, I'm fine with them. Better than Modern Warfare 2019. That's a fact. All right, the next thing I want to talk about briefly is the spawns. Apparently, the spawns are based on like where your teammates are, in a sense like Battlefield. You know, where you have squad A, squad B, squad, you know. But with team deathmatch, because there's like 6 people on the team, they put you, I guess, with the closest. And I guess where the teammates aren't in action, almost in a sense. But it's annoying because if your teammates spawn and then you spawn on a small map, there have been times where I would literally spawn in and immediately get into a gunfight. I'm like, bro, that's not a spawn. Or I spawn in and somebody spawns right on the other side of the wall because their teammates are, or the enemy teammates are. How is that fair? Like, how are those spawns actually good? And I've actually heard from a couple of streamers and YouTubers where they don't like the spawns as well because of the fact that they instantly get spawned and instantly have to start fighting or start, you know, doing something because there's no way to maneuver around it, because wherever your teammates spawn, you spawn, and if there's slightly no action there and you get spawned there, that doesn't mean there's not action right around the corner. Like the amount of times I've literally just spawned into the match or spawned in from dying and I immediately have to jump in to get into another gunfight. Like, bro, sometimes I need some time to recuperate and be like, okay, where do I go? Where are my teammates? Blah, blah. Same thing with Domination. The flags don't fucking matter. The flags do not matter in Domination, because the Domination in previous Call of Duties, that would dictate your spawn. If you have A and B, the enemy spawns on C. Vice versa. Vice versa. But in this game, you can have A and B, right? But if your teammates are kind of pushing up towards C, and the enemy team, they have like one person like flanking or whatnot. That person's gonna flank there, even if you have that spot covered. Even if you're in that general vicinity, the enemy can still spawn behind you, capture C, and next thing you know, it's like throughout the whole match, it's just A's being taken, C's being taken, because it's actually absurd how bad the spawns can be sometimes. And just don't do a repeat of Modern Warfare 2019, because if I remember correctly, those spawns were not good. And another thing I want to briefly touch on to wrap this video up of my beta impressions is the movements. I wish the movement for people like me, rushers, was just a little bit smoother, a little bit more fluid, because even when I'm trying to rush, I still feel like I'm stuck 7 feet in the mud. I'm like, bro, come on, like get going, move your legs, you know. But I think they actually did say they were going to change something like that, or change the slide to make it feel a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, to kind of get you back into the fight. Because I know what slides, like when you slide, you're almost at a detriment, because you have to go the whole distance to the slide because there's no slide cancel. I mean, people find a workaround, but I think they're literally trying to work on that to make sure there's no slide cancel. So you have to go through with the whole slide. That shit takes a minute, honestly. So I wish the movement would just be a little bit faster, either the sprint out times or just the base movement speed just be a little bit quicker. But then again, they have double time and I think an equipment that can help for that. So I might just end up using those. It's not really a big deal, but I just hope they kind of just kick it up just a little bit, just a smudge, and I think it'll be good. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm actually having fun with the beta. There are some things that are just, like I said, nitpicky for the most part, but I actually enjoy myself playing this game. The gunplay feels good. The gunfights seem fair for the most part. The time to kill seems a little bit quicker, but I could just be tripping on that, honestly. Maybe the guns are just that powerful. I don't know. Oh, one thing I actually want to touch on, the walls seem very thin. At least in the first beta, they seemed very thin. I'd be spawning in, getting shot at through like 3 layers of concrete. I'm like, bro, damn, what kind of guns are these people using? All in all, the beta is actually pretty good. The guns feel good, the maps feel great, the equipment is actually fun to use. Like the amount of variety in the equipment is actually pretty cool. Same thing with the kill streaks, they have a lot of good kill streaks to use, so on and so forth. Like I said, besides the perks, the mini map, and the spawns, which I hope they kind of change in the future, I think this game could be a really good game, especially for the fact that we have to keep it for 2 years. They better end up making some changes or people are not going to want to play. But yeah, guys, I'm at it there. If you guys enjoyed this, want to see some more Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed content like this, want to see some more videos like this, consider hitting the subscribe button and hitting that notification bell to stay tuned for any future videos that I post here on this channel. But this has been your boy Joe for Snake, guys. I will catch you in the next video. And remember, stay joyful and game on.